Just what makes the best riders so much better than the rest of us. Now, we talk about e-bikes as being the great levelers, which is true to a certain extent. After all, they do enable us to ride with the power of a pro. However, what happens when we're confronted with a big dirty hill? Today then, it's going to be beginner versus amateur versus pro e-bike edition. What sets the pros apart then from most of us is their simple ability to go fast, very fast, to hold a line that mere mortals cannot, and understand flow and how to generate speed from the terrain. So today then we have a pro rider, a super keen amateur and a beginner. And today's route then, well, it begins with a relatively gentle climb of about 2 kilometers. This is followed by a 100-meter sprint that drops into a little technical conclusion. Now, if things do happen to be tight coming into the final downhill section, this is an idea where the time might be won and lost. Now, you've got a combination right, left, right. So it's all about entry speed and exit speed. I really do expect Wyn to be hauling through this section. Now, this section is really interesting because not only have you got the entry and exit speed, you've also got the line choice to deal with as well. So as you can see, the track here is about 8 foot wide. You've got a low line and a high line. With the low line, it's more direct to the corner, whereas the high line might actually give you a faster exit speed to this corner. But it doesn't just stop there. You've got to then link the next section in, and this is where flow on a mountain bike all comes into play. So you've now got 10 foot wide track and possibly 4 lines in a close area. But again, you're gonna get the line choice right because you've got this entry and exit to this corner. I think this is gonna be a really, really key part of this race, this left-hand corner, and who gets it right. Taking on the grid today is a friendly mix of fame, beautiful hair and Jedi skills. Yes, we have a celebrity with us, Jeffsy. You might have heard that name before or seen it etched into mountain bike frames. Harry Barrett, you might have seen him hanging off hips, a man definitely slightly better than average, but very much an amateur, only having spent a few days on an EMTB before. Taking up the final grid place is Wyn Masters. Now, he's a former Enduro World Series race winner, a man who can wheelie his way through any Wednesday, and as you'll see, one of the finest all-rounders in the business. Right, Jeffsy, how do you think you're going to get on today on the e-bike beginner amateur pro edition?
Quietly confident. You know, watch the boys riding, watched a few videos of them. Yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully put in some good times.
And let's face it, you are an athlete, right?
Coming into today with Wyn and Jeffsy, you know, there's a bit of a difference there, but I'm pretty happy with it all, and it's been a good day so far. And
how do you reckon the result's going to pan out?
I mean, it's close, isn't it? But just going to have to see, aren't we?
So do you think Harry's a bit of competition? Because he's like...
Yeah, he's going well, so I think he'll be hard to beat on these trails.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the downhill, you've got to be confident on a downhill win.
As long as it's not in his local downhill.
Which it is.
Yeah, so it's always hard to beat a local on the local track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. Anywhere in the world you can go to a race and you race a local, it's hard to beat them.
Okay, what's your strategy for this loop then? You've got to climb and you've got to descend together.
Yeah, I'd say if it's a loop, then I'd have to conserve a bit on the climb and then attack the downhill. So I'd have to ride pretty smooth on the climb.
When you say attack, Wyn, what do you mean there?
well, just go like really.
Okay folks, so we have a 57 corner climb followed by a 5,000 plus route descent. And we're gonna be going off at 1 minute intervals with our beginner, keen amateur, and our bro, Wyn Masters. Yeah. So guys, who's going first? Jeffsy, the living legend, the man with the name on his bike. Okay, next up we have the sub 70 noodle, Harry Barrett. You ready, Harry?
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. Oh. And finally, the man who won the EMBN Rotorua in 2017, if I remember.
Good memory.
Wyn Masters.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go with 3, 2, 1. Oh, you're joking! Oh, you're joking! Look at him go! Jeffsy! Come on! There we go. At the end of the first climb, Harold was hammering well, and although he didn't know it, was running a few seconds ahead of Wyn. The track dives into the trees, the turns tighten, rocks and ruts appear. Could Wyn pull back the deficit on Harry? Could Jeffsy keep within an hour of the youngsters? Could he even stay on track?
Nice line shot!
Oh, snuck through the inside. That was a Jeffsy.
There it is. It's a f***ing good time, Jeffsy.
Yeah, right. Wow, Jeffsy, as one of the biggest names in mountain biking, what was it like to go against the clock?
Difficult, I found it, but yeah, nice to race against these guys. And I'm sorry I didn't give them a bit more of a race, really.
Wow, I mean, I guess you didn't know it, but you were up on the clock against Wyn on the climb, a second. I mean, but then dropped into the downhill, right? What were your thoughts?
Well, I didn't actually know from the start that I was going to be that all right on the climb. I mean, I knew I definitely didn't have it on the descent. I was just going to try and claw back some time, it's kind of the feel, but no, I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, but so what do you think about Wyn being like 12 seconds over a minute? That's insane, right?
It's a bit of an eye-opener, I have to say.
Yeah, Wyn, what does it feel like to go into a downhill section in the red? I guess that's what you do a lot of that enduro racing as well,
Yeah,
don't you?
you've got to kind of conserve a little bit so you can come into the downhill still able to attack, and just come in a little bit fresher than you think. Sometimes you go too deep on the climb and then you can't ride the downhill at all, and then you're just losing time the whole way down.
Yeah. So you're into e-bikes then?
Yeah, I got my e-bike at the end of last season, and I've done 65 or so hours on it now, so loving it.
What's the best thing about it?
I think the best thing with e-bikes is I can just ride with anyone at all, and that everyone has a good time, so I can still get a good ride and they can still get a good ride. And I just put it in eco, I can ride with my missus, she's loving it, I'm getting a workout, she's getting a workout, perfect.
Would you echo those thoughts, Phil?
Brilliant, yeah. It's like, I would never ride with Wyn normally, but on an e-bike we can ride together, which is great.
You even,
and Harry, of course.
You even put the pressure on me there a bit,
I
Jeffsy.
can put the pressure on you a little bit, mate.
So, Wyn, massive congratulations on your win. What kind of tips would you give both Harry and Twos Up Jeffsy here?
Well, I followed Jeffsy for a practice run there, and
this is on camera.
Yeah, he was struggling to modulate his braking smoothly, so I'd say try to be a bit smoother on the brakes on the descent to get the grip on the tyres. When you're too hard on the brakes, it locks the wheel and then you get out of control, and then it happened a few times.
It did.
It was good to watch, but it's not efficient.
I was just a bit nervous with you behind me.
Yeah,
to
well,
be honest.
you know, I was nervous
help.
with you in front of me.
Guys, thanks for a great day out. Let us know your thoughts, beginner, amateur, pro. Well, again, congratulations. What an amazing run. Honestly, mind-blowing that time down there. Guys, I'm sure you all ride with pros or beginners or amateurs. You know, that's the whole great thing about e-mountain biking. So, yeah, guys, let's go and do some more.
Yeah.